Cheers! It's Homebrew Wednesday again. Still taking the cough medicine. Still not working. Neither are the antibiotics. Look at that. Head's gone straight away. Right, I've got a wonky eye, so I don't know whether everything looks fuzzy, but I don't know whether it's the screen or whether it's my eyeballs. Anyway, what's happened this week? Well, not a lot. The old smash beer has been brewed and is now in the bottle. Hopefully it will, this was the very last dregs of the bin. Bit cloudy, as you can probably just be able to detect. I'll be having a bit. Normally come out a bit clearer, but see, this one was more. See that. It's only been a day though, but that's one of the reasons I use a couple of clear bottles when I do a batch, so you can see what's going on. So I didn't get a chance to make any bottles up for the last. There's a hell of a lot of yeast sediment. You see that cake in the bottom of the USO 5 I used. There was a lot of plasterer's bucket in the bottom of the fermenter. But, we got a full box of the Cupid's ones and a couple of spares, and then a few glass ones. I've got 31 bottles out of the batch of 17 litres, although obviously I did bring it out to the end there, which is why them ones are a bit trubby, but they're all a bit hazy. But hopefully that'll drop out. The Gervin yeast I used last time, there was quite a lot of yeast deposit, and that compacted down in the bottles really well, and you could pour virtually the entire contents of the bottle out without disturbing the sediment. So that's about it for brewing wise. I have managed to acquire a PC power supply fan. A little bit grindy this one, but might do for a start. If not, see if I can butcher another old knacker power supply out of a PC. And some magnets to go on the fan. So the stir plate is getting, ouch, stir plate's getting a little bit closer. I think I have just about all the component parts apart from the speed controller. I do have an old dimmer switch. I haven't tested that yet to see if it will work on DC though. If not, I'll see what I've got in my electronics cupboards. See if I've got a voltage regulator in a little pot, and I'll just make a little rotary controller up on a little circuit board for that. So, a couple of weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I said that I was inundated with kits, ingredients, and cans of light malt extract, so I put it out to you watchers, the viewers. What should I combine together to make a brew? Well, we had a sort of mixed batch of suggestions with no complete coffee stain. Most of them consisted of doubling up cans, i.e. 2 cans of stout, 2 cans of hoppy copper bitter, 2 browns, with some Cascade, stout, a brown ale and treacle, 2 stouts with some vanilla and chocolate, a stout with black currant, although I don't actually have black currant, 2 stouts and some fruit, which is the same as black currant, 2 hoppy coppers mixed together with some extra hops, which is one I was going to do, because I think with all the pre-hopped kits they just tend to use isomerized hop extract to give you the bitterness, but there's no actual hop aromas, because obviously they wouldn't keep in the can. I think it was Kevin Clement suggested a brown ale with some roasted barley, some chocolate malt to make a robust porter, which again we could do because we've got the grains. Might make a little bit more interesting viewing for some of the people that are just basic kit brewers and are looking to have a little dabble to improve your sex up your kit, as Craig says. So I'm still a little bit undecided. I might get a bit of time, go for the one with the extra grains. I might even just do 2, because I've got the fermenters free. I can clear a little bit of space down here. The temperature is fairly constant, 20-22 degrees. Doesn't seem to go above or below that. The smash beer fermented constantly at 20 degrees, and the time I looked down it dropped to 22 degrees, sorry. The time it dropped down to 20 it had finished fermenting out, finished out at 10-12. There was no more activity in the airlock, and that sat for 2 days and nothing, absolutely nothing. The only movement on it was the air pressure change. So yeah, the kit brews, still undecided, but I might, if I get a good day where, you know, the kitchen's clear, I can get the camera set up and get some extra lights, because half the lights in the kitchen ceiling are knackered, and put new bulbs in and they don't work, and they're them bloody ones you cut holes in your ceilings and they're freaking useless. Everyone who asks me to fit them, I always recommend no, don't go for them, because they're a pain in the arse. They let drafts through your loft. Anyhow, I'll see what I can do with regards to videoing it and getting in there and doing a little mini, some grains, steeped grains, and brown ale, possibly a stout mixed with it. I don't know yet. I'll have a little play, a little think. I'm hoping to do 2 kits though. I've got the capacity bottle wise. Well, what I might do is I've got that King keg in the shed, is give that a clean and fill it up with some water and pressurise it and test it to make sure there's no leaks, cracks, and it'll take pressure. Give that a clean up and keg one of them up, and then bottle a few as well, and see what happens. Now some of the guys are this week, Zippy, Scoosy 67, Newt Homebrew Tom and Harry Brew 69 are doing a midnight brew. You should have seen Tom's video coming up. That's this Friday to brew. He'll be casting. I think Harry's casting as well on Vaughan Live, so's Tom. If you check out their channels, they should have some links, or on the Facebooks if you're on that. So that will be starting obviously before midnight, but the idea is the brew will go into midnight or start at midnight. Going to be webcamming via Uvu. I think Scoosy's going to do some Skype. Tom's casting. He's going to see if he can cast out in his shed, I think. Unfortunately, I haven't got any working laptops that I can hook a webcam in and hook Uvu up to, because the laptop looks like that, as I showed you last week. And all the other ones I've got are in various states of knackerism. And my shed isn't big enough for me to rig up an old PC on Wi-Fi, because I can barely get in there to brew. But check out those guys on Friday night. I'll partake where I can via Uvu, or unless by some magic event I acquire a laptop in the next 48 hours. You never know. Still got that plum taste to it. Winter ale kit. Anyway, despite that, I'm running dry. Other things that will come up on this channel, as I've said, the chickens are now gone, which is a bit unfortunate because I had all them spent grains they could have ate, but they're gone. So the space that they occupied, once I take down their enclosure, will be free for the other shed that some of you have endured Homebrew Wednesday 52 will have seen is flat packed at the side of my house. That is going to become my brew shed, and the little one that I'm currently using I'm moving out of because we're going to have to put some of our white goods, our washing machines, fridge, freezer or whatever, in that little shed in the near future, because I do want to take the conservatory down because the roof's had it, and while I'm doing it, take the wall out and come out a bit further and make it bigger. We've also got some of the house conversion going on for disabled access as well, so some other stuff's got to be moved about. So brew shed's going down bottom of the garden, so if you're interested I can do a video on, I mean it's not a scratch built shed, it's an old communal garden, go down the DIY store, buy a shed, but what I do to a shed to make them a little bit better for brewing it. It's not a scratch built shed, as I said. If it was, it would be some other little changes if I was building it from, you know, bare timber from the nails upwards, shall we say. This one's obviously a shop bought thing, so it's got to have a little bit of repair work done to it, but yeah, it's going to be not a permanent residence because I do have other plans for another brewery. But yeah, it'll be going in the shed, so there'll be extractor fans going in, lighting, electrics, water, just plumbed around inside the shed with a hose pipe to feed it. So obviously you can just disconnect the hose, drain the system out, so there's no risk of any burst, split or popped joints or pipes during the winter. Although we're obviously coming to the tail end of that, probably better off waterproofing it, making it a boat. So yeah, if you want me to chuck up a video on what you should do if you want to make a, if you're thinking about buying yourselves a shed to brew in, trying to get it to be usable all year round, or most of the year anyway, and how to get the base level and prepare the underside of the shed, because obviously you don't really want to be fixing it in 2 or 3 years time, because that means you've got to take the whole thing down. But I can run through that as a video series or little excerpts on future Homebrew Wednesdays when I get down to it. I've got a little bit of groundwork to do before I can get in and do the base. I can put that in if you are interested. If not, I won't bother, I'll just do it and you'll see a shed with some green plastic inside it and some, and say, shit, he's got another shed. Yeah. Anyway guys, I can waffle on no more because I need to go and poke around with my eye and still get a bit of metal there that's inside it again because it's watering. And I need something to eat. I've got the munchies. So yeah, kit brew's coming up. Hopefully another all grain. I would like to try and get another one in, but I've got other things to do this weekend. Again. Anyway, I shall just extended waffle and talk again. Catch you later. And if it's not later, it'll be next week. If it's not next week, it'll be before. Alright.